Good evening, everybody. We got here a 3v3 on Nomad. So it is between the Chinese players of WWP, and I will just give a little bit of time as they do start to drop their docks, drop their town centers. They are going to look to get those up as soon as possible, obviously wanting to get villagers and fishing ships out to get to the next age, start with some military aggression as soon as possible. So let's take a look at the teams. We do have right next to each other, Paladin and Yo. So I'll start with Yo's team. Yo is in the blue, playing as the Malay, and his teammates are Bad Koala, who is up here playing as the Cumans in the yellow, and their last teammate is Zan, playing as the Indians in the red. So these two, being close together, will be able to fight together against the enemies. Yo being in a little bit worse position as he's right across from Paladin, playing as the Italians in the green. And Paladin's teammates are in the teal Licks, playing as the Bohemians. So haven't seen too much of the Bohemians on Nomad as of yet. And their last teammate is Tim, playing as the Mayans. He's kind of off to the side, lots of area behind him to expand. So something that I would be looking forward to is likely going to see Bad Koala and Zan teaming up against either Teal, who is Licks, or Purple, who is Tim. And then these two down in the south are going to duke it out. Might get a little bit of assistance, might not, depending on the way it plays out in the north. So, taking a quick look, we see Bad Koala off to a little bit of a slower start. A bit slower getting that fourth villager out. He actually is collecting up fish with his dock right here. And he is trying to catch up, but obviously a bit of a difference. He just hit 5 at around the same time that Tim hit 7, playing as the Mayans, of course. You do get that little bit of an advantage to start out. So that does add a little bit extra for sure. So what can we expect out of this game? Well, I will fast forward just a little bit as we go through the initial stages of the Dark Age. Obviously, each player at this point in time is just looking to get some sort of a economy going, fishing ships, hunt, ostriches, whatever it might be. There are some sheep scattered throughout the map that will be used primarily for scouting to begin with, but eventually will be definitely eaten. And so all players are sitting with fishing ships, sitting with their villagers, and of course with Nomad starts, it's always just that much more messy, getting housed, getting that little bit of extra chaos that some players thrive in and some players really struggle in. So seeing lots of players have to frantically put up houses wherever they can to try to get not population blocked. And you will see in these situations villagers going long distances, mills being put out in unideal situations. So far these players have got pretty good situations for their food access. All of them have ostriches nearby. All of them have some form of food. Tim, of course, in a great position, but Paladin is going to be the first one up to Feudal Age, and he has stone right next to his town center. So, of course, so far, Yo does not see Paladin. I assume he knows that Paladin's around, and of course, Paladin knows someone's over here. He doesn't know who as of yet. So, being majorly the first one up to Feudal Age, Paladin, he might go for towers. He might just go for water aggression. He's already started scouting out. He has dropped his second dock now. So he will be looking to take out Yo's fishing ships, even if he doesn't take out the villagers. And that villager getting a little bit too close for comfort, and now they both know who it is that's right next to them, and they both know the situation and the distance between the two of them. And with that, Paladin will begin his wall off. Obviously playing as the Italians, a great water civilization. And Malay, you know what, also a very fantastic water civilization too. We do have the second player who has clicked up, and that is the Indian player, Zan. He is already 38% of the way up, and we will be seeing the other players clicking up shortly. Of course, a couple of fast castles will be in the mix, and even some villager fights here between the Italian player and the Malay player in Yo and Paladin. So let's see exactly what these galleys can do to begin with. 2 galleys already out for the only player who is in the feudal age, and these fishing ships will start to get destroyed actually, as the galleys do 10 damage a shot, so it doesn't take too long until fishing ships start to fall to a group of galleys. And the dangerous situation here is that Yo's entire team are all right next to each other in the water to the south here. That could be good if they're looking to add in defense for the water, but of course it means that chasing Yo this way is only going to lead Paladin into seeing the next enemy, who is Zan in the red. And we do have a tower forward already for Paladin. He is walling it in just to be extra safe. Always a good call. And he does have access to stone, but Yo also has access to stone here, deciding to go for gold instead. He wants to get as much water control as he possibly can. But of course, just a couple fire galleys can push back these regular galleys, definitely. When we look at military, Paladin does have the number advantage, but Zan does have the stronger units in small numbers. So of course, these fire galleys will be looking to run away, run and hit, run and hit, run and hit. And Yo is just attacking where he can with his fire galley in the waters of Paladin. Second tower now going up. This is going to be a messy area for sure. Up to the north, not too much going on. We've got some fast castles, more so eco than any military, just focusing a little bit on water, and that's about it. As this villager, smart play by Yo, just barely out of the way of the other tower, and Paladin will lose this forward, as he is also losing on the water right now, because it is, you know, as we mentioned before, it leads him to the enemy, all of them being together, but it also means he's fighting 3v1 on the water. So, bit of a messy pathing there. Not a big fan of that. He could have gotten away a little bit more. But he does have his own fire galleys out. His teammates not needing to put any military in the ocean as of yet. But all of these players now starting to look towards the next age. The only two not going up are Yo and Paladin, as of course their main priority is just attack the enemy at this point in time, because if they waste the resources and time to go up to the next age, they might be caught off guard. So they always want to have that little bit of protection. So Yo, now that this tower's up in a great location to protect his stone and his gold, he has clicked up to the next age, and now there's only one player left to go up, and he is a long, long ways away from clicking up. Nowhere near the food or gold count. So up to the north a little bit further, as Paladin is losing the water, we do see the players starting to hit the next age, starting to think about military on the land. Already, plumed archers coming out for Tim, so that'll be a big, big impact. And a little bit of a cheeky play here, walling in the gold villagers of the enemy, and of course Zan notices that real quick and runs away, as we see some stables coming up for the Cuman player, and we do see that there will be some land aggression forward. And you know what, Lick's coming down here, dropping a castle right on Yo. Fantastic play And a great move, because this will completely destroy the little economy that Yo does have. And Yo forced to run away. Luckily for him, there is no military presence at all for Licks, but we do have plumed archers running around, looking to pick off as many of Yo's running villagers as they can. Yo sees the castle, quickly turns away and gets away. But I bet Licks is pretty upset with himself right now, knowing that he doesn't have any military at home, because he would have loved to pick off all these villagers. Look at that. Just free for the picking. That is almost 20 villagers that would have been gone. As we see knights coming in, all ready for the Cuman player. And these wall-offs not working out to protect the stone miners. So we do see Licks falling back now, having to run to his town center. And again, there's no military at home except for this one Hussite wagon. So he's just sending the wagons out to protect his own base right now. And the water looks like the south side is pretty much won by Bad Koalazan and Yo, as Yo has completely reallocated his entire economy. Lowest villager count in the game, and that's including Licks, who is notorious for having low villager accounts. And as you can hear, just getting attacked left, right, and center. This town center will go down shortly. And Hussite wagons now with a mangonel in defense. Yo will have to definitely run away with this villager, as each of these players will be in a weird situation in that now the focus is going to go over to Licks, it looks like, as the Mayan player is massing up plumed archers. And finally we do see the Italian player going up to the next age, as more and more Hussite wagons are moving forward, looking to mass these as much as possible, because en masse they're very difficult to engage against. And here come the knights. That mangonel definitely going to go down to a small number of knights, and that is no problem. But the Hussite wagons and a monastery now up will be able to fight back, as the plumed archers, good engagement there against the villagers. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villagers that I can see, possibly one more on top of that, and even going to pick off some of these knights, as the Hussite wagons are coming in response, and they will be able to fight back against these knights. So now Yo having to run again a little bit further north, and they are just being pinched into this corner at this point in time. They of course have the resources they need in that corner, and Yo can sneak his way around, but it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to make it through. Now Paladin, once he hits the next stage, I am interested to see what it is he goes for, but in the meantime, big pick off once again. Don't like the fact that Tim is fighting underneath these town centers, but the amount of villagers he was able to take out right there, fantastic. Taking out even more, because obviously Yo can only hold so many villagers in the town center in one go. These plumes will now just run away, get out of here. Has the castle for Licks, the second one on a town center of the enemy so far. And the villagers of Yo looking to get away, but likely will be spotted before they can get too far. All of this open area, but Yo unable to really get over there at this point in time. So now it's looking messy. Which, if you think about it, if you picture teams that like the messy games, you do picture players like Licks. So that is something that is always going to go well. Of course, these villagers of Yo are gonna sneak their way around. That's enough villagers to set up a small town over there on the other side, as he's having to flee again and again, with more and more knights coming out, Hussite wagons coming out, everything attacking this little north base. But Yo has snuck around, and he's gonna drop a little bit of an economy over to the side. But in order to get that economy rolling, he needs wood to build a town center. And his wood line now raided by Tim. Tim has been just all over the place, picking off villagers with these plumes. 31-4 is kill to death ratio. Fantastic. And Tim, MVP of the game, definitely, as he has completely overwhelmed the enemy. Already getting the GG. Dan wanting to hold off just that little bit of extra time, but he's pretty much good as gone. So I think a big turning point was Licks dropping a castle down here that moved the distraction over to Licks, and it allowed for Tim to really mass up those plumes and get those pickoffs while his teammates distracted the enemy.